Viewer discretion is advised. Also, headphones are highly recommended to watch this series.
Alright, welcome back to some more Corpse Party Book of Shadows. I'm gonna probably be starting to stop the recording and then maybe mesh it on to the next video or whatever at some points, because I've been having a lot of problems with XSplit, the recorder that I use lately. I just lost about an hour and 30 minutes worth of footage for Zero Escape, and I was not really happy because it froze it pretty much froze at the very end of the recording, and so I lost all that footage. So yeah, let's head into the third chapter, shall we? Encounter.
天神5番地のん
Let's see. Tenjin 5. Huh?
これ23だよな。それとも33か？
Is that a 23? Or is it a 33?
まったく山崎先生の字は読みづらいな。
Mr. Yamazaki's handwriting is atrocious. This really wasn't my day. I knocked over my alarm clock this morning and, of course, it stopped working. The very last pork sandwich sold out right before my eyes during lunch, and I was roped into a favor when I happened upon my homeroom teacher, Mr. Yamazaki, long after the school day had ended. So now, like it or not, I was on my way to deliver some notes to Miss Yu, our homeroom TA, who was out sick with a cold.
後でゆかに謝らないとな。
I'll have to make sure I apologize to Yuka later.
今日は早く帰ってゆかの買い物に付き合ってやる予定だったし。
I know how disappointed she'll be that I'm missing our shopping date.
天神5番地23の11。ここか。
Tenjin 5-23, number 11. Found it.
これが6番地33の77とかじゃなければだけど。
As long as this doesn't actually read 6-33, number 77 anyway. I stopped and compared the memo in my hand with the apartment building in front of me. It was 2 stories tall and looked a little on the shabby side. Do that. Probably about 20 years old. It didn't seem very solid, nor was it particularly stylish or chic. It was completely unremarkable. A completely unremarkable structure in every way.
ここの207号室。いや、201?
Apartment 207? Or is that 201? I was really getting fed up with this handwriting, and from a teacher no less. You know how those teachers tell you, make sure you write properly so you can read it? In any case, it seemed certain the apartment was on the 2nd floor, so I trudged up the startlingly narrow, steep stairs. The metal staircase was thoroughly blotched with patches of rust. Why would someone live in such a rundown apartment building? Maybe they don't have that much money? Also, sorry about the green screen. I'm wearing a green shirt and it looked like it was a... Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like just for this video. Yeah, I'm a floating head.
先生の給料ってもしかしてすごく安かったりするのか？
Are teachers' salaries really that low? sometimes. I felt a little sorry. I felt a little sorry for her. But in a way, this place kind of fit her personality. Really? With that thought in mind, I turned my attention toward apartment 201.
あ、ここが201号室か。でもゆい先生の家じゃないな。
Here we are, 201. Yeah, this doesn't look like Miss Yu's place. The door plate for the room nearest the stairs had a name I didn't recognize scribbled on it.
ってことはこの奥か。
Guess that means we tried door number 2. Passing room 201, I continued down the narrow walkway toward the end. Wandering alone around an apartment building I'd never been to before made me feel kind of nervous. It wasn't like I was doing anything wrong, but my back still tensed up as I maneuvered around piled up strollers, plastic toys, and bundles of newspaper. And then finally, I arrived at the last door.
ここだ。
Bingo! There we go. It's facing the wrong way. This was it. I breathed a sigh of relief. The door plate for the apartment 207 read, Shishido. That's it. For an adult's handwriting especially, the letters were rounded and overly cutesy. Well, that seems more like Miss Yu compared to what Satoshi was comparing her to. This was Miss Yu's place, all right.
なんだろうこれ。
What's this? I leaned in to read something written in small script on the corner of the door plate.
愛病注意
Beware of cat? That's right, she has a cat.
って猛犬注意じゃなくて
Shouldn't that be beware of dog?
ゆい先生らしいや。
That's Miss Yu for you. So how exactly does one beware of a house cat? I've seen some pretty nasty cats before, believe it or not. Is it even possible for a house cat to be threatening? Satoshi, you've never seen a vicious cat before. At any rate, I confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt that this was Miss Yu's place, so my errand was nearing its end.
それにしても山崎先生もひどいよな。
What was Mr. Yamazaki thinking anyway?
風邪ひいたクラスメートにプリント持っていくならわかるけど、風邪ひいた副担の先生のうちに授業のノートを届けろって。
I understand taking handouts to sick classmates, but delivering class notes to the home of an absent teacher?
絶対におかしい。間違いなくこれ担任の仕事だよ。
That just seems weird. This isn't something a student should be doing. Yeah, really. He said he was busy with meetings, though, and really needed one of his students to help him out. But was it really okay to entrust a student with confidential class notes?
これ生徒が読んじゃまずいノートなんじゃないのか？
Wouldn't it be kind of a problem if I were to, say, read these? My mind kept drifting from one question to another, and I'd become acutely aware of the inherent value of these notes I held in my bag. But tempting as it was, I just couldn't bring myself to look at them. Mr. Yamazaki put his faith in me, after all. And I was stronger than that. I couldn't let this get the best of me. At any rate, I was here. I should have just been able to drop off the notes and be on my way. Putting all my doubts and misgivings aside, I rang the doorbell. And then I waited, and I waited, and waited some more. But there was no answer.
俺呼び鈴をしたよな。
Huh? It did ring, didn't it?
Yui sensei!
Miss Yu? I rang the bell again and also tried calling out. But there was still no response. Miss Yu, what? Miss Yu? Are you, playing hooky?
どうしよう。寝てんのかな。
What should I do? Maybe she's sleeping.
起こしちゃ悪いけど、でも心配だしな。
I don't want to wake her, but I am a little concerned. When we heard that Miss Yu was staying home sick today, we were all pretty disappointed. That's why part of me was actually a little happy that I was asked to run these over to her. I figured I'd be able to check in, see how she was doing, and let everyone know at school that she was feeling better.
けど会えないっていうのは想定外だったな。
Never occurred to me that I might not even be able to see her though.
ゆい先生！ゆい先生！反応なしか。
Nothing, huh? Huh.
ゆい先生。
Uh,
すみません。
Miss Yu? Yui? Hello? She was probably sleeping, or out at the doctor's or something. But what if she were her? I tried opening the mail slot to peek in. That's illegal, Satoshi. I thought maybe I could get a glimpse of the room inside. Don't do that. What happened if she was actually naked or something?
ゆい先生。
It felt kind of wrong peeking into someone's house without their permission. That's because it is wrong. But I was legitimately worried about Miss Yu's health, so my conscience was clear on this one. Yeah, just keep telling yourself that.
ああ、猫。
Oh, the cat! Hi, little cat! A well-groomed cat was facing the door and staring back at me. With its head tilted slightly to the side, it let out an adorable meow. This must be the cat I was instructed to beware. And since Miss Yu was always going on and on about her little buddy, I was pretty sure I remembered his name.
この子が噂のモレじゃなくて、確かモネ。
Satoshi, you're kind of sounding creepy with that whole going back and forth behind my ear thing. You're Moret, right? Or no, it's Monet, I think. Or Monet.
そうだ、モネちゃんだ。へえ、綺麗な猫だな。
Yeah, Monet! What a pretty kitty you are, Monet. Miss Yu talked about her cat a lot in class, so pretty much the whole school had heard about him. She even had some tins of cat food hidden on a shelf in the classroom, probably because she'd bought too much and had no room for them in her apartment.
モネ、モネ。先生はいるか？
Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Monet? Monet? Is Miss Yu home?
先生がいるんだったら、起こしてきてほしいんだ。
If she's home, would you mind waking her up for me?
モネ、頼むよ。
That's a good kitty.
やっぱり無理か。そりゃそうだよな。
Yeah, didn't think that would work. My shoulders sank. I felt defeated. What the hell was I doing? Talking to a cat? I closed the mail slot and stood back up. And then Miss Yui was right behind me, looking like an idiot. I am.
弱ったな。ゆい先生、どうしたんだろう。
Damn. I sure hope Miss Yu's alright. Satoshi doesn't seem like the one to just be randomly saying stuff. Just kind of point that out. I don't know. I mean, I know he did it, but that in the original, but he was more in a life or death situation, not just out and about.
どっか外出中とか
Just like Miss Yu probably is. She's probably just out right now or something.
開いてたりしないかな
Which would mean the door's locked, I'm sure. Oh, that would be funny if Satoshi was just talking to a cat and then all of a sudden the door was just open. Lost in speculation, I placed my hand on the doorknob. And with a quick twist, I turned it and pushed the door, opening it easily. Wow! 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 And, Miss Yu, you're kinda being very, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Isn't Japan kind of safe and they leave their doors open sometimes? I don't know.
え
Huh?
鍵かかってないのか
It wasn't locked? I've been standing here like an idiot talking to a cat this whole time?
うわいけね
Crap! That's not good!
モネが出たら大変だ
I can't let Monette get out!
お前のご主人様は不用心だな鍵もかけてないなんて
Your master's pretty careless, huh? Leaving the door unlocked like that. Monette's whiskers twitched as I called out to him from the entranceway.
なんだその通りだにゃって
What's that you say? She purr is? I am getting sick of all the puns I've been hearing as of late. I feel like I've heard about 100 puns this month.
モネもやっぱりそう思うか
You and I are on a same page, Monette. Hero was talking to a cat. Was this what I'd become? Apparently. Sorry if my... I think I'm blaming... I'm gonna put this down a little bit. Maybe that'll help a little bit.
どうしよ
What should I do? I was feeling pretty uneasy. Not only had I peeped into someone's home, I'd walked in without a second thought. Moreover, this was where Miss Yu lived. Yui lived alone. In other words, a woman's apartment. No matter how many times I reminded myself that I was here on an errand, I couldn't help the feeling that I'd not only crossed a line, but I leapt over it.
うゆい先生
I tried calling her name one last time, but as I expected, there was no answer.
本当にどうしようかな
So what now? I was trying hard to avoid being too nosy, but my eyes inevitably began surveying the room. The apartment entrance led out immediately into the kitchen, and beyond that, there was a sliding door to some other room. I could see a light through the gaps. I strained my ears, but there was nothing to hear, no signs of life whatsoever, besides a cat. Miss Yu really must have been out. One more time, I tried calling her name. I tried calling out to her one more time, just to put my concerns at ease. I felt like I'd seemed even more suspicious if I stayed silent.
ゆい先生持田です
Still nothing. Maybe she was asleep on the other side of the door. So let's just keep invading personal privacy.
確かめてみいやいやいやいや
Let's just have a little look-see then. Wait. Shaking my head furiously, I cast out that sudden impulse. That was a terrible idea, pure and simple. Entering the apartment unannounced was bad enough, but walking all the way in, opening that sliding glass door, and peeking inside? That was just too much!
っていうかこのタイミングでゆい先生が外から帰ってきたりしたら俺結構まずい
Man, If Miss Yui happened to come home and find me standing here, I'd be in pretty hot water, huh? Just drop the papers and go.
じゃなくて、だいぶまずい。
No, scratch that! I'd be in plentiful, dense scalding water! Monette mewed, as if in agreement. Panicking, I once again surveyed my surroundings. I almost felt like there were eyes on me, staring with disdain. Well, the cat's staring at you. What was that? But of course, nobody was there.
あ、そうだ。書き置きを残していけばいいんじゃないか?
Oh, right! I can just leave the note. Wondering why I didn't think of this sooner, I dug into my bag for some paper and a pen.
山崎先生から頼まれたのでって書いておけばいいんだよな。
Mr. Yamazaki asked me to come by. That should be enough, right?
俺のノートでいいや。
I'll just use some notebook paper.
ゆい先生、
Let's see. Miss Yui. Crouching in the doorway, I ran my pen across the page. I brought class notes at Mr. Yamazaki's behest. Everyone has been worried about you. Sorry about barging into your apartment.
あと、不用心だから鍵はかけた方がいいと思いますと。
Please don't forget to lock your door from now on. You better not jump scare me. Because this is peaceful right now. As I was writing the note, I sensed a presence in front of me. Oh God. No! 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 This is supposed to be a peaceful chapter! Until just a moment ago, this house had had no signs of human life in it, but now I could feel someone standing directly ahead. Standing and looking down at me. Oh God. Fidgeting nervously, I put down my pen, raised my head slowly. Oh God. And saw a white, slender, oh God, ankle. Shocked, I shot my head up, and there, standing before me, was Miss Yui. Why do you... What's wrong, Miss Yui?
Sensei.
Miss Yui. I'm hating my camera right now. I've been noticing it. I'm just gonna make it darker. There. She was looking right at me, but she seemed decidedly out of sorts. Her hair looked disheveled, her gaze was unsteady, and her pajamas were in a complete disarray. She was like a completely different person from the usual kempt educator we'd come to know and love.
ゆい先生、俺勝手に入っちゃって。
Ah, Miss Yui! I'm sorry to have entered your apartment without permission. Here! I stood up frantically and held out the note I'd been writing. But... Miss Yu, I'm used to calling her Miss Yu. I'm just gonna call her that. Was just standing there, stupefied, with a completely vacant expression on her face.
Sensei?
I called out to her as gently as I could. But... Excuse me. She was really dazed. She seemed almost like a ghost.
Sensei! どうしちゃったんだよ!
Miss Yui! What happened to you? I'm still gonna call her Miss Yui. I had a sudden uneasy feeling. Worried, I walked up to Miss Yui, grabbed her shoulders, and tried to snap her out of it by shaking her. But instead... This just seemed to make her cough.
Sensei!
Hey! Miss Yu! These were wet, productive coughs, and spit was shooting out of Miss Yui's mouth with each one. I frantically tried to shield my face from the spray, but my reaction time just wasn't quick enough. Great, now I'm gonna get sick. I put a hand to her cheek and found it thick with a slimy film of saliva. Oh god, she's a zombie!
大丈夫? Yui sensei.
Are you okay, Miss Yui? I'm telling you, she's a zombie. Miss Yui hobbled back a little, then fell to her knees with a thud. She had completely sprawled out in the hallway, moaning and groaning the whole time.
Sensei?
Wiping the spatterings from my own face, I leaned over and took a better look at hers. It was bright red. Strained breathing, a stuffy nose, and a visibly high fever on top of it all. She was as sick as could be. I'm cold.
寒いの? でも、汗かいてるよ.
Cold? But you're dripping with sweat. It's cold. I thought maybe her sweat cooled her down, but then realized her disheveled pajamas certainly weren't doing any favors. With heart pounding a mile a minute and face red as a traffic light, I set about buttoning her up.
ゆい先生、俺のことわかる？持田だよ。
Miss Yui, you know who this is, right? It's Mochida from school.
寒いならちゃんと布団で寝ないと。
If you're cold, you need to sleep under your covers.
出ないと治るもんも治らないって。
Otherwise, you won't get any better. I'm having a conversation with someone moaning. Almost the whole entire time. She absent-mindedly extended her shaking arms like a zombie, slowly reopening her eyes and looked up at me. It was the gaze of a severely fevered mind.
ゆい先生、
Miss Yui?
Tsukasa-kun!
What? Did they really have to make... yeah.
Tsukasa-kun!
Miss Yui was clinging to me tightly. I couldn't move. I was frozen in shock. She began to weep. You've come for me, Tsukasa?
Tsukasa?
Who's Tsukasa? What a lovely surprise! I'm so glad you're here!
先生待って、人違いだよ。
Miss Yui, wait! You've got the wrong person! It seemed like I wasn't getting through to her at all. And the sensation of her chest as she held me was making it virtually impossible to fight her grip. What? I was utterly powerless against this opponent. Satoshi, you perv! I never realized before just how soft a woman's chest really was. God dang it, Satoshi. God, am I that weak-willed? I had to remind myself that Miss Yui had me confused with someone else. Yes, you are very weak-willed, Satoshi. Really weak-willed. Mustering all the strength I could, I gripped her arms and tried to pry them off me. But she was a lot stronger than I'd anticipated and wouldn't let me go. I was so scared. Tsukasa, I was so scared. Scared? Keep hearing it come from this side. I never thought you'd actually come. She squeezed me tightly. I felt as though my upper body might collapse under the pressure of her softest parts. Oh my god. I was blushing uncontrollably. You should, because you...
Yui sensei, ちょっと離れて。
Miss Yui, please let me go. No, I won't.
先生ってば。
Come on, Miss Yui. I struggled to wriggle free, but Miss Yui would only grab me tighter. Our bodies were getting more and more intertwined. Oh my god, this is gonna turn into something horrible. Horribly wrong. And every time I squirmed, Miss Yui would just pull me in even closer. Yep. God! Stop with the sound effects! As her chest rose and fell erratically, droplets of sweat slid down into her cleavage. Did you really have to describe that, Satoshi? I could feel the heat of her fever radiating off of her steadily and encroaching my face, as well as her steadily encroaching face, as well as the shoulders I'd grabbed in an effort to push her away. Stay here with me, Tsukasa, please.
だから人違い。
I'm telling you, you got the wrong person! Questions were swirling around in my head. Why was Miss Yui crying? And who was this Tsukasa person? But I was most concerned for the state of her pajamas, which had become even more disheveled during our struggle. Great.
先生、パジャマ、ズボン。
Miss Yui, your pajamas, your pants!
ずり落ちてるから。
They're sliding down! Tsukasa, you're so warm.
ゆい先生ってば。
Miss Yui, please! Realizing that not a single word was getting through to her, I sighed resignedly. I'd taken care of Yuka any number of times when she'd caught a cold and drawn a fever, but I don't recall it ever getting this bad. Miss Yui was usually calmer, collected, and rational. Who would have ever imagined that a fever could leave her so thoroughly discombobulated?
ゆい先生、ちょっと、もう。
Miss Yui, please! Seriously, pull yourself together! I put more strength into my resistance, and finally her arms relaxed, just the tiniest bit. But her expression changed drastically. No, please!
先生、俺は持田聡で、司って人じゃ。
Miss Yui, I'm Satoshi Mochida, not the Su... Please don't go. Please? Miss Yui was acting like a spoiled little child. Slipping out of the shoes I'd still been wearing, I again drew close to her sprawled out form. Satoshi, don't you dare even think about doing what I think you're going to do. There was no way I could just leave her like this.
後で気がついて、怪しまないでくれよ。
I sure hope none of this seems too sketchy after your fever breaks. Miss Yui let out a lethargic groan, perhaps in response to my quiet murmurings. At my wit's end, I grabbed hold of her and did my best to carry her into the back room. Gently willing her over to the unfurled futon, I then carefully laid her down, making sure I didn't drop her in the process. Then, there was the matter of rebuttoning those pesky pajamas again. I hesitantly pulled up her pajama bottoms and brushed away the stray hairs that were plastered to her brow with sweat. I'd done my best to avoid seeing anything I shouldn't, but I am a guy, so my heart was pounding the whole time. You don't admit that, man. Don't admit. Miss Yui's pajamas were soaked through with sweat. She really might have been better off with a change of clothes altogether. No. Satoshi, don't be changing her. But no, that would have been going way too far, thank you. You got some dignity in you.
タオルとか何か拭くものでもあれば。
Wish I could find a towel or something so I could at least wipe some of that moisture away. Huh? Noticing a convenience store bag carelessly tossed to the floor, I glanced inside.
なんだ、冷却シート買ってきてあるじゃん。
Hey, she already bought cold packs? I pressed that button on accident.
なんで使ってないんだか。
Why wasn't she using them? Jeez! Quit pressing the square button.
先生、ヒヤッとするけど我慢してね。
Miss Yui, this might be a little cold, but bear with me, okay?
これでよしと。
Alright, I think that'll help. I placed one of the compresses on her forehead and pulled the covers over her. Miss Yui appeared almost instantly relieved. She exhaled contentedly, and her breathing became more relaxed. Finally, she was asleep. Yeah, she does snore loud, Satoshi. Don't stare at her, that's rude. Even in sleep, Miss Yui seemed to be suffering.
モネ。なんだ先生が心配か
Oh, Monette. Were you worried about your master?
俺もここまでひどいことになってるとは思わなかったよ。
I don't blame you. When Mr. Yamazaki said she was sick, I had no idea it would be this bad. Monette had coiled up on my legs without me noticing. I began absent-mindedly speaking to him. He mewed in response, and our conversation ended there, as my gaze was still fixed squarely on Miss Yui.
さてどうしようか。
So what do I do now?
ゆい先生
Miss Yui? No, I won't. No, I won't snore loud again.
このまま帰っても大丈夫
Are you okay to be alone right now? She wasn't in any condition to respond. But
ゆい先生
Miss Yui's hand slipped out from under the futon and was gently grasping my pant leg.
あ
Her grip was much weaker than before. But I knew I'd probably regret it if I went home now. Why do you say that? Miss Yui just seemed really lonely.
仕方ないな
Well, I guess I'll better settle in then. Without disturbing Miss Yui's hold on me, I took a seat beside her. For the time being, I figured I'd watch over her and make sure her condition didn't worsen. Occasionally, Miss Yui's breathing would become ragged, and she'd furrow her brow. She was in a pretty bad way.
辛そうだな
Poor thing. Wasn't there anything else I could do? I glanced quietly down the hallway. I'd noticed when I carried Miss Yui here that the kitchen near the entrance was perfectly neat and tidy. There wasn't any indication it had been used that day at all.
飯食ってるのかな
I wonder if she's eaten anything. Monette's gaze shifted suddenly. I followed it and saw pet bowls laid out in the corner of the room. One dish was filled to the brim with water, and the other was piled high with dry cat food.
なるほどモネはちゃんと食べてるんだな
I see someone's eating well around here, huh?
熱出してあんな状態になっててもお前のことはちゃんと考えてくれてるんだな
Even delirious with fever, she's still taking really good care of you.
でもさゆい先生まずは自分の食事の心配をしようよ
But that's not good. Miss Yui, you should be thinking about your own meals first. I shook my head at the whole situation, then glanced down at Monette, who was tilting his head as if trying to understand me. I broke into a wry smile. When I pulled out the cold packs, I did notice some cheap convenience store food in the bag as well. I guess that was going to be her food for the day. Not exactly the best stuff to eat when you're sick.
米とあと卵くらいはきっとあるよな
There's rice and eggs at least.
卵がゆでも作ろう
Maybe I'll make some egg porridge or something. And in comes the sound that you might hear.
先生
Yeah, there we go.
キッチン借りるよ
Miss Huey, may I borrow your kitchen? Her face was bright red, and her half-pained, half-contented noises provided me with no clear-cut answer to my question.
仕方ない。ゆい先生の代わりにモネに許しをもらおうかな。
Don't think I'm gonna get anything out of her. How about you, Monette?
モネ、キッチンを借りていいか？
Do I have permission to use your kitchen?
ありがとう。
Excellent. Thank you. Monette's cries helped assuage. Oh my god, I've never even seen that, or I've never heard that word. I've seen it, never heard it. My guilt over entering a woman's apartment and borrowing her kitchen. Not that I had any reason to feel guilty. I don't think, anyway. I mean, circumstances were what they were. Still, I had this nagging sense that I should have somehow felt bad about doing what I was doing.
ゆい先生、ごめんな。ちょっと離れるよ。
Excuse me, please, Miss Yui. I'm going to need to get up. One by one, I gently peeled off each of the fingers latched onto my pant leg. The expression on her face changed as I was doing so, from contented rest to mild annoyance, but there was nothing to indicate that she might wake up.
よし、作るか。
Alright, then let's see what we can do, shall we? As I stood up, Monette mewed happily and began tagging along at my heels. And Miss Yui was now resting by herself in the bedroom, let out a sudden sneeze. That it? Okay. Episode 3 Encounter.
Next time on Corpse Party, Book of Shadows.
My name is Miss Yui. I'm 17, and my dream is to be a teacher.